What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz the Adult. It's Friday, baby. Alright, man, look. Andy Ruiz, he said that he wants Deontay Wilder after Anthony Joshua. The question is he looking past Anthony Joshua? Let's talk about the Anthony Joshua rematch with Andy Ruiz first. Now, we know the first fight, Andy Ruiz, he got $5 million for the first fight. Anthony Joshua, he got over $20 million. Anthony Joshua said that he wants the rematch to be in the UK. Now, they already signed the rematch clause, pre-negotiated, for Andy Ruiz to receive $10 million for the rematch. Great negotiation skills by Eddie Hearn. Now, Andy Ruiz, he said that he wants the rematch to be in the States since he's the A side. He's holding all the straps, right? Anthony Joshua, with him wanting the fight to be in the UK, Andy Ruiz said, I'll go to the UK for $50 million. I don't think that's too much to ask for a guy, Andy Ruiz, who is now the unified champion, who will be taking all the risk going over to the UK. Anthony Joshua, he took the risk first, but not a bigger risk than Andy Ruiz taking the fight in short notice. Now, I don't think that's too much to ask. We'll see what happens. Now, let's discuss Andy Ruiz's probability of even beating Anthony Joshua in the rematch since he's calling out Deontay Wilder after Anthony Joshua. I think Andy Ruiz, he has the advantage here. And let me tell you why. In the first fight, Andy Ruiz was a big underdog, but not to him. See, he had a game plan. He knew that Anthony Joshua's hands weren't as fast as his own. He also knew that Anthony Joshua gets a bit tired. And he knew that he can bet on his chin being stronger than Anthony Joshua's. Now, Andy Ruiz, he never been dropped before, so of course he feels he has a greater chin than Anthony Joshua. Guess what happened? In the third round, Andy Ruiz floored by Anthony Joshua by a left hook right on the button. Andy Ruiz never been there before. Foreign land. Here's a quote from the late and great Cus D'Amato in Mike Tyson's book, The Undisputed Truth. Cus D'Amato says to Mike Tyson, and I quote, "You think you know the difference between a hero and a coward, Mike? Well, there is no difference between a hero and a coward in what they feel. It's what they do that makes them different. The hero and the coward, they feel exactly the same. But you have to have the discipline to do what a hero does, to keep yourself from doing what a coward does." Cus D'Amato. So Andy Ruiz, on the ground, never been there before, looking up to Anthony Joshua, the champ, fighting on a grand big stage, Madison Square Garden. He's never been there before. What did Andy Ruiz do? He got up, finding out if he was a hero or a coward. He found out he was a hero, tapping into the right things, finding the difference. He threw the punches during the exchange, dropping Anthony Joshua, hurting him with the right hand. See, Andy Ruiz, he knew he had the faster hands, better mechanics. He knew that he can rely on his chin being stronger than Anthony Joshua's. Once Anthony Joshua recovered around the 5th or 6th round, that's when Andy Ruiz started to implement his game plan. He knew that Anthony Joshua has stamina issues. See, Anthony Joshua is heavily muscled. Andy Ruiz, the fat boy, right? But in boxing, muscles, that's not a huge advantage in boxing. So Andy Ruiz going to the breadbasket with jabs and straights, testing Anthony Joshua's endurance, the ability to endure. Anthony Joshua couldn't endure. KO'd. So in my opinion, I think Andy Ruiz, he has the advantage here in a rematch. Anthony Joshua, he got some data to collect though. George Foreman, he said that Anthony Joshua, he shouldn't have the rematch immediately. He doesn't know what he did wrong the first time. He also said that a broken jaw is like a broken leg. It takes about a year to heal. We saw with Roy Jones Jr. coming back too soon after the Tarver loss. He was sitting on the ground. It looked traumatic. Glenn Johnson knocking out Roy Jones Jr. But Lennox Lewis, he also took a devastating knockout by the hands of Rahman. He came back 6 months later to knock out Rahman because he had the data. He adjusted. Can Anthony Joshua do the same thing? Here's another thing that we need to consider. Andy Ruiz, he also has data. See, he never fought Anthony Joshua. Now he has. He never fought on the grand big stage like Madison Square Garden for 4 belts. Now he's the champion. He also collected some data there. Both of them are going to be better. I give the advantage to Andy Ruiz. I think he's a better fighter. Now, let's talk about Andy Ruiz versus Deontay Wilder. The probability of that happening, very probable. Both of them are with the PBC. Al Heyman, he got all the heavyweight belts. Tyson Fury, though, he's after Ortiz. I think Deontay Wilder needs to handle that business first. After that, if they both get past their opponents, then the probability of them meeting, very high. Because they're both with the PBC. It's not going to be as difficult to negotiate like Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. So, Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz, how would that fight go? Deontay Wilder, he's not Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder, he isn't Joseph Parker. Different fighter. Better jab than Anthony Joshua. More devastating right hand as well. Faster hands also. More of a rangy fighter. But what they do have in common is they both, chins, questionable. They both leave themselves open in the exchange. During the exchange, Deontay Wilder actually got clipped by Brazil. Not too many people saw that. AJ, he got clipped by Dillian White during the exchange. That's why Andy Ruiz knew that he was vulnerable there. So, if Andy Ruiz has an advantage, it's when Deontay Wilder think he's hurt. If I was Andy Ruiz, I'll play possum just to catch Deontay Wilder. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What is Andy Ruiz's chances of even beating Anthony Joshua? And do you think Andy Ruiz has a good chance against Deontay Wilder? ShowBizz the dope. Hey, that was safe.
Listen to ShowBizz.
I'm out.
Boxing. What's better?